Louis Vuitton encountered several challenges that could have killed the company even before it was ever created. From witnessing two wars and his shops being totally destroyed and equipment stolen, let's look at 4 things that could have killed the Louis Vuitton brand. Louis was born in 1821 to a poor family that couldn't even afford education, electricity, or running water in a village called Angers. The boy worked on the farm with his father, Xavier, without going to school, while his mother, Corinne, made hats to support the family. With the current environment and circumstance that Louis was born into, the chances of him ever building the most valuable luxury brand are close to impossible. And then things got even worse. At just 10 years old, his mother died. This made his father marry another wife. However, his stepmother was manipulative towards him, and they argued almost every time. So Louis, at just 13 years old, ran away from home with plans to go to Paris, with no food and money, or even saying goodbye. Paris was 225 miles away, so he was forced to walk. Most nights, he slept in the woods on an empty stomach, and anytime he came to a new village while traveling, he would do odd jobs just to get food or some tokens. It took young Louis 3 years to reach Paris, and by that time he had learned some craft skills just from doing odd jobs along the way. He could work with wood, metal, fabric, and stone. When I read this, I couldn't help but wonder, what exactly was his drive? Why did he choose to go to Paris specifically, going through all these hardships to get there? And most importantly, what hope kept him going in those 3 years at that very young age? Let me know what you think was going on in his mind in the comment section. So when he arrived in Paris, he got a job working as an apprentice boxmaker and packer. He worked very hard, and after several years, he became the personal boxmaker for the Empress of France in 1851. After getting married at 33, he used his savings to start his own business and started making new products. This was the start of the luxury brand. In just a few years, he had over 20 employees and had opened shops outside Paris. In 1870, when Louis was 49 years old, the Franco-Prussian War broke out. He was forced to flee home and lived in a shelter with thousands of others, leaving everything he worked so hard for behind. But after the war, when he returned in 1871, everything was destroyed and all his equipment was stolen. Instead of quitting, he took all his savings to start all over again, and he vowed to make this time even better than it was before. Due to the war, there were several shop vacancies in good locations. Louis quickly took advantage of this situation and opened his shop in a much wealthier location in Paris, close to the railway station and the Grand Hotel. For the next 20 years, Louis continued to work at his shop in Paris as the brand became even better than ever, until his death at 70 years old. His son, George Vuitton, took over. He grew the business even bigger and created the iconic LV Louis Vuitton logo from his father's initials. After George died in 1976, the company was passed on to his son, Gaston Louis Vuitton. However, Gaston took over at a very difficult time because this was around the same time France was heading to war. During World War II, contracts were cancelled and Gaston was forced to close the factory. Paris was under siege, and the only way Gaston could save the company was to collaborate with Nazi Germany, while several other businesses were forced to shut down for not cooperating with the Nazis. Although the company was ashamed of this decision, Gaston did what he must do to prevent the company from dying. These are the 4 challenges that could have killed Louis Vuitton from becoming the #1 luxury brand today, after 171 years.